Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. We are back for an update video today. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. A little bit of an update on everything I said on yesterday's match preview, that if there is any team news or anything key from Gary O'Neill's press conference today, I'll talk about it. But of course, we've had quite a little bit of transfer news over the last week or so as well, so I thought I'd give you guys an update on that one. Talking about the press conference, Gary O'Neill was very, very tight-lipped about team news ahead of tomorrow's quarter-final clash with Coventry. Doesn't want to give anything away to Coventry and the media about to speculate who's going to be available, which is very, very interesting to me. I feel it means that there is potential for one of, if not more than one of, Cunha, Neto, Jean-Rick Bellegarde, or even maybe a push Hwang to be back in contention for the game. Now, it was spoken about last week that Matheus Cunha could potentially be an option. Gary O'Neill spoke about how happy he is with the progress that Matheus Cunha has made with his recovery, so that could be an option. Neto and Jean-Rick Bellegarde were due scans this week, and Gary O'Neill has not really said much on them. Hwang, it may, I'd assume he's still out, so he might not be in contention. But then at the end of the press conference, he also mentioned that how not so much happy, but how, he's happy with the situation. He feels like Wolves could have been in a much worse situation in regards to these injuries. So, who knows? Come 11:15 tomorrow morning, we may have a bit of surprise team news, but we may well see some news. Normally around 10, 10:30 tonight is when the journalist embargo is, so we can see some more team news. So there may be some snippets in there. So keep your eye out on the Talking Wall socials to see if there's anything of note there. We'll jump into some of the transfer news anyway. Fabio Silva has been the talk of this week, really. Last Saturday, it was reported that Fabio Silva and Rangers are looking at potentially staying together longer than just till the end of the season. Rangers are hoping that if they can win the league and qualify for the Champions League, that they're going to have basically the money to fund a permanent deal to sign Fabio Silva. I think Rangers' transfer record at the moment is only around £12 million, but I think obviously they'd have to break that to sign Fabio Silva. But I think if you got about 15 to 20 million pounds, maybe with a decent sell-on clause, it's certainly a deal that Wolves are going to consider. Fabio then scored in the quarter-final, I think, for them in the Scottish Cup. And I assume he would have played in Europe for them this week as well. And he said that he's loving his time in Scotland and would be open to staying there for a longer time. But he said that, he enjoyed his time at Anderlecht. He loved his time at PSV as well. So let's wait and see. But Rangers could well be an option. But if he continues his progress, does quite well between now and the end of the season. I think they are out of Europe now. So full focus on them in the domestic league and the cup. Who knows, Wolves can demand a little bit more money for Fabio Silva. Another player that's going to generate so much speculation is Pedro Neto. Obviously, I've already mentioned him in regards to his availability possibly tomorrow. Newcastle were linked with him last week. It said that internally at Newcastle they discussed the possibility of signing Pedro Neto. It's for that a fee of in and around £60 million would be needed to complete a deal this summer. A lot of people sort of laughed about that, especially the fee. I think Newcastle, no disrespect to them, Pedro Neto, you would probably see him at maybe a higher club in terms of standard as that. I wouldn't quite say it's a sideways step because I think Newcastle could probably give him more money and maybe give him a slightly bigger platform to play at. But I think if Pedro Neto were to leave Wolves, it is going to be to a team playing consistently in European football. But at the moment, with his injuries, is 60 million a laughable offer? Probably not. So we really need to see where he's at between now and the end of the season with his fitness. Can he continue his goal contributions? If he can, that's when you can start to demand a higher fee for me. But let's wait and see on that one. Joao Gomez is another one. The Wolves are expecting a lot of interest in him in the summer. This is Fosun's perfect signing as such, especially under Matt Hobbs. They spoke about wanting to be self-sustainable, self-sufficient as a football club. And really they wanted to sell or buy low, talented young players that they can, nurture and develop, with the potential in the future to sell a lot higher. And Joao Gomez is absolutely perfect for that. Signed for in and around that £15 million mark. If Wolves were to sell him right now, you're definitely talking above £50 million. So that for Fosun and the club in general is a perfect piece of business. Wolves aren't expecting to sell Joao Gomez, still only 23 years old, still not expecting to sell him this summer, but their recruitment is already following players of a similar mould, a similar style. just in case they do need to replace him. But again, you never know. 60, 70 million pound offers start coming in for Joao Gomez. As a club, you have to start considering them. But Wolves aren't expecting to be receiving offers such as that just yet. Interesting, a couple of goalkeepers have been linked this week. The first one was coming in from reports in the US about the US goalkeeper and the Columbus Crew goalkeeper, Patrick Schulte. Now, Manchester United and Arsenal have been linked with him. I think Arsenal were even linked with in the UK media about Schulte, 23 years of age, and Wolves are apparently keeping tabs on him as well. So interesting. Always a weird one with American goalkeepers. We've seen some in recent years. Matt Turner, who's at Arsenal and then obviously at Forest now. Not really, having some good moments, but quite a lot of shaky moments. Zach Steffen at Manchester City, the same as well. So we're not really seeing huge amounts come on to, go on to bigger and better things in recent years anyway. Obviously, historically, we've had Brad Friedel, Tim Howard and so on. But interestingly, obviously, Wolves were linked with Gabriel Slelina about 12 to 18 months ago. He was an American goalkeeper as well. So maybe that is a target that Wolves are looking at, especially for a goalkeeper at the moment. But another keeper that was linked was the Roma goalkeeper, Miles Svilar. Young goalkeeper, only 24 years of age, Serbian. Now, this guy's name has been around for years. I remember him being at Benfica, being a really, really thought of player as a goalkeeper, but now getting a lot more first team football at a much higher level as well. So playing at Roma at the moment. Wolves and West Ham reportedly looking at him, and I think he's been a big part for Roma in recently, especially since Jose Mourinho's gone and actually overtaken former Wolves goalkeeper Rui Patricio in the pecking order. So that'd be an interesting signing. But Jose Sarr's future, up in the air, had been last summer, was in January as well, so let's wait and see on that one. We've also got some news about Rayan Ait-Nouri. Quite an interesting report coming from Algeria. Again, there's a number of players in this Wolves team. I think there's a lot of players in this Wolves team that I fully expect Wolves to be taking inquiries for this summer. Cunha, Neto, Joao Gomez, possibly even Hwang. But Rayan Ait-Nouri is definitely one of those as well. Liverpool apparently are the most serious candidate to looking at signing Rayan Ait-Nouri this summer. This came from reports in Algeria. But Manchester City, who I think have been linked with him before, Manchester United, Chelsea as well, all said to be keeping tabs on the Algerian. Now, obviously with Liverpool's situation with a manager, this one may not even come to fruition. But again, another player that Wolves would have to demand a decent fee for. Now, I know there's not rumours, because there is a clause that a percentage of the money would go back to his former club Angers, but I believe it's not as high as the 50% that people have claimed it would be. It's going to be a much, much lower fee, which obviously would work much better in Wolves' favour if Ait-Nouri were to go for 40, 50 plus million pounds. So could be a busy summer for Wolves in terms of outgoing, so we'll have to wait and see, but still very, very early days, especially with so long left in the season. And one of the most spoke about Wolves players right now is Wesley Okadu, 15-year-old right back who was actually named in the first team squad earlier this month against Newcastle United. A few little bits and pieces on him, and now his dad, Emmanuel, actually played international football for Nigeria, had a fantastic career as a bit of a journeyman playing, I think, in Ukraine and Russia. But Wesley Okadu playing youth level for England right now. I believe under 16. They won a tournament earlier on this season, and he was a big part of that squad there. So he's been representing England at a youth level right now, but he's actually eligible for England, the United States of America, because I believe that's where he was born, and Nigeria as well, who his father had played for. So his dad is pushing for him to pledge his international future to Nigeria. Obviously, very, very early days, 15 years of age. His dad played for Nigeria before he was even, Wesley was even born. So very interesting. And Wolves, I think he played I've not seen any of the footage back, but he played for the under-21s today, Wesley Okadu, at the age of 15. Very, very big future ahead. And that's why apparently Manchester United are reportedly pushing to sign him, Wesley Okadu at the moment. That came from the secret scout who's got a lot of intel with the youth side of the game, the under-21 and under-18 side of the game. But Manchester United reportedly pushing to sign the 15-year-old Wesley Okadu from Wolves. But that is all for today, guys. Hopefully that was a nice update for you all. Like I said, Coventry, massive game. If you haven't caught the match preview, go and check it out. It was a great match preview. I spoke to Coventry fan Claudio, who's brilliant to chat to about the football. And keep an eye out tomorrow. I think I'm on Sky Sports News around 10ish before the game, 10:15, so keep an eye out for that. And obviously I'll be back with a match reaction and stuff after the match as well, and we'll do the fans react for you guys. But fingers crossed, Wolves will be FA Cup semi-finalists by this time tomorrow. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.